music festival season in Canada, and the number of festivals to choose from has surged in the last few years, from jazz and blues to country and rock. Eric Alper, our music expert, is here to talk a little bit more about that. And like over 300 music festivals between mid-June and September?
I stopped counting after 318.
Oh my gosh.
And it's those small community-based festivals such as Salsa on St. Clair in Toronto,
right,
to the Oakville Jazz Festival, to the massive Osheaga Festival, or North by Northeast, or even the Pan Am Mania Games, which has 1,300 artists in 35 days.
So that's just not fair, because we said over 300, and you can go and pick your favorites.
I know. I'm narrowing down to 5 here, and then 10 on the website.
Let's talk about the 5, the ones that, you know, kind of the big ones in your mind.
Absolutely. The first one is going to be, that's coming up, is on July the 4th to July 6th, and that's the Cavendish Beach Festival on the East Coast.
What a beautiful place to have it.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. You know, not only do you get to see a lot of great artists like Eric Church on the countryside, but you also get a lot of the local flavor and a lot of the local independent artists from the East Coast. So
right,
when you combine the atmosphere and the environment of the East Coast with great music, you can't go wrong there.
Perfect festival. Some other ones.
Yeah, absolutely. The next one that's on the list would be the Interstellar Rodeo. Now, this is an interesting one because it's curated by a label called Six Shooter Records, which is a roots label. And what they've done is, for years, they've had it in Edmonton, and now they've had it in Edmonton and Winnipeg on consecutive weekends. So July 24th to the 26th is in Edmonton, and then August the 14th to the 16th is in Winnipeg. The Winnipeg one is really, I think, by a smidgen, the better one, because it has Sinead O'Connor, which is a personal favorite. I love this show.
Nice.
And also, Steve Earle is going to be performing, and on a separate stage, Justin Townes Earle, his son, is going to be performing. They may not be getting along so well.
Drama.
That will be, exactly, right? So you'll want to go see, and, you know, I mean, if I'm Justin Townes Earle, maybe I'm just doing all of his dad's favorite hits and just blowing it all up.
So some good ones.
And also, too, you know, then you've got, in Quebec, you've got the Osheaga Festival, which I mentioned before. It's probably the coolest, hippest festival, not only in Canada, but close to around in the world, because they've got a lot of really great artists. They've got Florence and the Machine that had the #1 album in North America this week, the Black Keys, Weezer. So again, you've got a lot of artists that you would be paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for to see them separately, but for one price, you get to see them all.
So tell me something, because a lot of these festivals have grown in size over the years, not the least of which, well, Boots and Hearts.
Boots and Hearts, right, which is 15 minutes north of Barrie in Oro-Medonte.
In Ontario,
In Ontario, and it's the largest country music festival in Canada. And they have Little Big Town, they've got a lot of really great artists that are there. But the cool thing about Boots and Hearts and what they're doing is that if you don't want to stay on the grounds, which a lot of people don't do, I don't camp,
I mean, if
I don't
they're
tent.
18, I guess you can't, I don't know.
They book hotel packages for you along with your ticket that has shuttle packages going from the hotel right to the venue, and they keep going back and forth, so you don't have to stay on the ground. But again, you've got some of the biggest artists in country music playing. Florida Georgia Line. It's astounding how big that festival has become and how well people are treated there. And that's the thing, is like, for years, we didn't get a lot of these festivals, but in the last 3 or 4 years, it's exploded because stereotypically Canadian people, we know how to treat people right, we respect one another, we respect the artists, and it's a glorious, gorgeous country to play in.
And we've only talked about a few. There are fantastic festivals right across the country, and I know you did some extra stuff for us that we're going to have online, so thank you, Eric.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so if you missed anything you want a little bit more, you can find Eric's top 10 music festivals on our website, canadaam.ctvnews.ca.